Our society lives on the concept of heroes. Heroes are admired for their selflessness, their bravery, and their determination to never give up. We all love the idea of a hero, and it's superheroes that embody all of these traits. Many of us have grown up with superheroes as a form of fantasy, as a way of having someone to look up to, as a beacon that will show us the difference between right and wrong. It is a truly great hero that can inspire us to do great things, to become the people we wish to be better. And the best example of a hero who does this better than most is Spider-Man. Spider-Man was conceived in 1962 when Stan Lee thought of a hero that could be more relatable. The concept for Spider-Man was of a superhero that people could actually relate to, who had real-world problems like rent, school, and relationships. Where other heroes were large and bigger than life, Spider-Man would be a hero who was down to earth and lived most of his day-to-day life just like we do.
And Superman and Batman and Green Lantern and all those people were all perfect, right?
Well, they were perfect in the sense of the characters they were portraying, but we tried to bring comics a little more into the real world. The chances are that possibly even you and I aren't perfect. Today, most people just aren't. We tried to make our characters have feet of clay. Now, poor Spider-Man. I mean, okay, he's pretty good at catching bad guys, but he's apt to get an allergy attack while he's fighting. He worries about dandruff. He'll have an ingrown toenail, tears his costume.
Stan Lee's goal was to make a hero that people could really identify with, and his success speaks for itself, as Spider-Man has become one of the most celebrated superheroes of all time. Over the years, Spidey has had multiple TV shows, video games, 3 different movie franchises, and countless comics. Spider-Man has been a key part of popular media for as long as I can remember, and there's no sign of stopping. Millions upon millions of people have encountered Spider-Man and his heroism in some way, shape, or form. And the reason for that is his universal appeal. Everyone can relate to Spider-Man. Everyone can be inspired by a person who tries to put everyone else above himself, by someone who always tries to make the right decision, by someone who literally embodies what it means to be a hero. But ultimately, the question comes down to, why do I love Spider-Man? Spider-Man is a hero I honestly think anyone can get into. Spidey will one day tackle a huge cataclysmic threat with the X-Men or the Avengers, and the next, he'll walk a kid home from school just to make sure he's okay. To me, Spider-Man is a hero who always fights to overcome the odds. No matter how big or small, he will always stand up and show that with great power comes great responsibility. What I believe is the most inspiring thing about Spider-Man is how he always manages to be true to himself, despite the many hardships he has gone through. Spidey has not had many good experiences. He lost his parents at a young age and then his uncle not too long after. He wasn't able to save the first love of his life and even sold his eventual marriage to the devil. But despite everything, Spider-Man has never let this break him. He doesn't decide to throw it all away or change his morals in ways that will make things easier. Instead, he just gets back up and continues to live as he always does, even if that only makes his life harder, because at the end of the day, it's worth it. That's what makes Spider-Man so great, his willingness to never give up, even when the odds are against him. He does what he knows is right, and he will continue to do so, because that's what heroes do. Back in high school, there was an old video I watched that perfectly encapsulated what makes Spider-Man such a great character. To quote that video, being optimistic when you know the odds are against you is not a bad thing. Neither is refusing to let go of that optimism when life takes things away from you. That takes strength, that takes courage, and that's what Spider-Man represents. Spider-Man has had to sacrifice everything, time and again. That's what he does, that's who he is. And like always, he'll deal with it, because he can take it, because he's a hero, and because not all heroes have to be dark. He is one spirit who can't be broken, and no matter what, he'll always be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.